And now we cooking. All right. Hey, hey, hey. And I can't see you anyway. But it is a brand new day. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Thank y'all for whoever was able to come on with me because I had to change the schedule. As y'all saw, I put according thanks to Thanksgiving eating. I thought about it, man. I woke up this morning. I was like, "Phew, I ain't ready. I ate a lot, but that's the key. I'm on with my guest host here today, my great nephew here in Dayton, Ohio, Gary Williams Jr. Yeah. So, I'm on early. So, and especially so if you're watching the video, don't worry about it. But I like to get on early to do my shout outs to see if people coming on live. And I know we got that Thanksgiving rumbling going in our stomachs. So let's make sure that we get that taken care of. Let me see here. I'm clicking. Cool. All right. So we've got less than 4 minutes for today's message, and it's a good message. Yeah, it's a good message, but it always is. You know how we roll. Let me knock this light out here. All right. With a little curtain action. Let's see. Did that work? Kind of, sort of. Okay, and then one more. All right. Yep. There we go. Oh yeah, nice in the flesh tone. Okay, cool. All right. So anyway, we got less than 3 minutes to go. So yeah, I came down here, said spending Thanksgiving with my family, and so let's Gary. Those of you who were with us last year, remember it was Gary's first time. So welcome back.
Thank you.
How you feeling?
Good.
Yeah, you ready for this? Okay, you're a pro now. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, he did it last year, so he's a pro now. That's how we roll. Okay. You want to say anything to the folks that they're not here yet, but this on the video, people will be here. Want to say something? No. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, a happy day after Thanksgiving. I hope you stuffed your face. Oh my God. What'd you have? What'd you eat yesterday?
Sweet potatoes, chicken, and baked potatoes, and cornbread, along with what else? Baked beans.
Wow. Yeah, we had some cooks. How many people cooked yesterday?
I do not know.
No, or who? You don't remember whose food did you eat?
My grandmother's food.
So she cooked.
One. My mom.
Mom, that's two cooks.
Mm,
Did you have to? What did Kian cook? She just made the pies, huh?
I think so.
Because I have from three: my
Oh,
sister-in-law, his grandmother, my niece, his mother, and my niece, her sister. Yeah, all three. Because especially, they rock these sweet potato pies. Oh my God! We were stuffed, and we was not trying to apologize either. We got less than 2 minutes for today's message, so especially if you're watching on the video, don't worry about that. And yeah, let me make sure this thing is good. Oh my God! Oh, I need a sound. I need somebody to come on and do a sound check because I remember. Let me see if let me go to Facebook and see if it's doing that because remember I was having those problems, um, sounding like the chipmunks. Let me. Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't see that, Gary. Oh, it was hilarious. Let me see if I can even hear it while we're doing the broadcast.
I saw something about mic check.
Yeah, I needed to do. Yes. So let me see if it works out here.
It looked like it was
Okay, here
working.
we go. Well, it'll look like it's working on our end. Okay, and then good. It's talking right. All right, we're in business. Oh, good. Okay, because I know a couple of people had laughed at the hey, Allison. Allison's over there. She's crying right now, but that's his little sister, and we're going to working on getting her on the broadcast for next year. So she said she didn't want to be on it this year, but she said, but she will consider it. So if enough of you send in requests, we will get Allison on the broadcast next time. And that is, we're working with her agent and everything. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. It's time for our broadcast to begin. And so welcome to another Glue Wednesday. Okay, welcome to, let me still, I gotta click this thing and there we go. Welcome to another Glue Wednesday. I'm Sporty King. He's Gary Williams. I named it Glue Wednesday because so often we hear people say, that Wednesday is hump day. Well, you know, that comes from old school rules, right? Because see, we used to just say that you work Monday to Friday or the weekend. And so that's why they said that Wednesday was hump day, because you get over the hump and go toward working at the end toward the weekend and celebrating. But I say, you know, there was always flex time, but we didn't have that saying back in the day. We didn't. We said you either work the weekend or the week or the weekdays. But there's always been flex time because there's always been hotels, restaurants, and public transportation. All of those people. Somebody might work Thursday to Tuesday, not necessarily Monday to Friday, right? So what I did is I looked at the fact that Wednesday is the middle of a 7-day week that keeps the weekend and the week beginning together, and see, it puts me in a prayerful mode. And that's why I decided Wednesday is the glue of the week. And therefore, once it put me in that prayerful mode, which is my favorite, I said it's for GULE. God's love undoes everything. Not that God's love will tear things apart, but that with things that have been torn apart, God's love will pull them back together. So, welcome to Glue Wednesday. Now, this week, I'm reconvening my 7-week series called Spoetry, the Spoetry series. And each week, you'll give me words beginning with the featured letter from Spoetry, which stands for Sporty's Poetry Opens Emotions to Reach You. And then what I do is I write a poem, getting all the words into the poem for the following week to go with the message. I'll repeat these instructions that I'm about to give you now at the end, especially if you're watching the video. But also, but this is just to set you up for what's going to happen. Before we sign off, everyone who's on live and puts a word in the thread for the next week featured letter will be called a poem co-author, and will get a chance to give me the topic. Because after I've gotten all your words, I'll give you a chance to pick the topic by picking a number between 1 and 10, which I've already selected. Whoever's the closest will get to give me a topic by within 48 hours. And then I'll have that as the topic for next week. If the numbers are the same distance apart, say I said the number is 7 and you pick the 5 and somebody else picked the 9, so they're two apart, or if you both pick the 5, whoever's came through first will be my perfect person to give me the topic. And again, I'll re-explain that, but hearing it a second time will make it smoother when we get to that. So today, as I said, I'm joined here in Dayton, Ohio by Gary Williams, and we'll be featuring the letter T. Let's get that up there. We're going to be featuring the letter T. Okay. And the words were volunteered by my co-authors will be Joey Waddell. He gave us triumph. Deborah Lorick gave us tolerance. Marva Collins gave us time and tremendous. Tremel Daniel gave us tenacious. And Haas Valencia gave us thankful. My guiding scripture, and Gary is going to read it. I didn't tell you that, but now I just thought of it. My guiding scripture is,
And when I fed the 4,000 with 7 loaves, how many large baskets of leftovers did you pick up? 7, they said. Don't you understand yet? He asked them.
And that is from Mark 8 and 20 through 21. So our topic came from Joey Waddell. He gave us the topic of resilience. And so the next day, I thought of the title while walking through the airport. Inspiration and the word are everywhere. Our title poem today is going to be called Swimming Upstream. And then made me realize that one thing I did not do is I didn't introduce Gary and let him tell you how old he is. How old are you, Gary?
I am
Well,
10.
let's get us back on here. Okay.
I'm 10 years old.
And where do you go to school?
To EDCS.
Which stands for?
East Dayton Christian School.
All right. And hey, what's up, Joey? Joey is on. He's the guy who gave us the topic. Thank you, Joey. So we getting ready to roll with your poem. All right. So here we go. Back to, and the title poem from you giving me tolerance, Joey, if you missed that, is Swimming Upstream. And so I got this inspiration because I was walking through the airport, and that's when it came up. It came to mind. And I'll tell you more about that. Because what happened was, and let me tell you what happened was, I actually was walking down the right side and the men's room was on the left. So I crossed over, went to the men's room. Then when I came out to go back, head to my gate, I'm walking on left and everybody's coming at me. And so it gave me the idea of swimming upstream, which also pointed me to two of my, what I call my fundamental 5 F's: focus and faith. So focus is FOCUS. Finding ourselves creates unlimited success. Focus on you and allow other people to come into focus. And the second one, oh, I didn't click on that. And the second one is faith. Gary?
Faith. Recognize, feeling as if there's hope. Recognize that the only thing you cannot do is give up.
And many of you have noticed an affirmation from me. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to finish this sentence in the thread as Gary asks you the question, asks you to finish this sentence. Okay? Okay.
When one door closes.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you 30 seconds to put in the thread. How would you finish that sentence? When one door closes, how will you finish that sentence? Oops, I think I hit the wrong thing. Here we go. I'm back. I got you, Joey. Here we go. Joey, how would you finish that sentence? You got 15 seconds more to go. There we go. Joey says when one door closes, another will open. Okay, well, here comes the Sporty King remix. Gary, you say the whole thing. Start from there.
When one door closes, go for the window.
Go for the window. Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, MC? I can't see who your name is. What's happening? But when another opens, so both of y'all, yeah. That is the one we always hear. When one door closes, go for the another will open. But the Sporty King remix says when one door closes, go for the windows. And here, Gary's going to tell you why.
You go for the windows because there are usually more windows than there are doors. And you have to believe you'll make better decisions when you see what you have to choose from.
All right, so you got that. Yeah, go for the windows, because once you see your choices, you say, hey, you know what I really want? Hey, you know what? I don't think I want that. Besides, you never know that door that's closed. We have to realize that we're talking about faith. God closes the door. So why, maybe that might not be your door. And what you say, Joey, it makes sense. Yeah, thank you. All right. And now, and for those of you who don't know, I'm interactive on my glue. I will stop right in the middle of doing something to talk to you on the screen. So put your comments freely in there. And MC, tell me, I got my screen minimized because I'm not at my normal station. So send me, give me your real name and let me know so I can try to give you a shout out and say, oh, who am I talking to? I know I can't because I can't see it, MC. All right, because my screen is shrunken. There we go. Joey, okay, what'd you say? Pressure to come up with same within seconds. Come up with something within seconds. That's right. Oh, yeah, that's all right. There's no wrong answer. There's just fun answer. Just come up with some in seconds. Hey, Michelle. Okay, Michelle, I know there's the most unique name in the world. Michelle who? What's up, Michelle C? Give me that full name, all right? Thank you so much so I can try to remember where I know you're from. That's what I like to do on my broadcast. All right, come on, Michelle. Type it away. Because I see your picture, but it's so small. Okay, but let's keep rolling. Okay, there. Joey, see, that's what Joey. Take your time, ain't no rush, y'all. So Joey's sentence here is supposed to be the pressure to come up with something within seconds. And so, and he's talking about to put in the thread. And that's great because you know what, Joey, that's the whole challenge in our lives as we're talking about resilience is how you act in the moment. And so, that's why we have to look at resilience as something that we need to give ourselves more credit for than we do, because it's how you act in the moment when you're dealing with a challenge. And like you said, coming up with something in seconds is an act of resilience. So see, it always works out when we let it work for us. So Michelle, you get in there at some point, but that's fine. I appreciate you being on the broadcast, but let's keep on rolling, okay? So the guiding scripture, two of my 5 fundamental F's combined with the fact that Joe's number last week, when we did the spin to see who would give me the topic, he gave me the number 7. And the number 7 led me to one more piece of recognizable scripture. One more piece of recognizable scripture connection. And I'm going to let Gary read that because it's from Genesis 1:3-31 and 2-1. And it states,
And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And ended with, "So on the 7th day he rested from all his work," bringing us to...
And that brings us to swimming upstream. Swimming upstream. What I couldn't tell was whether the smiles that walked toward and past me cared about where I was going. Then I remembered whose hand my fate was in, and I became one of the smiles. My first smile was for time, as I appreciated the evolution of darkness defining the light. Even my spiritual awakening, blessed from the falls and stabs in the back. The goodness continued to unfold, even now as I share my gift. My second smile looms in the sky and its tremendous separation of space, distancing me from the blues and heartache of the past, clarifying them as lessons of self-love. The goodness separating my blues as challenges, washed away through sadness turned songs of praise. My looks to the sky, drenched in the blessings rained down and nurtured. My third smile was for thanks and the harvest of happiness, ordered on my behalf as steps of focus and faith. The goodness underfoot, cementing the path of peace as my walk upon the petals produced refreshing fruit of forgiveness. My fourth smile welcomed the tenacious quest to add the glimpses of positivity that continue to outshine the negative knocks at the door, aimed at taking the glow from the friendships that became family, by understanding that the goodness is that though blood is thicker than water, drinking it will not hydrate the heart. The fifth smile of trust, working together to overcome the emptiness of disappointment and false expectation, results of the secrets that over time became lies. That goodness became because the truth continued to knock at the door. Thus, the sixth smile offered a flashback of tolerance, coupled with belief, risk, belief, risk, belief, risk. The goodness recalling an expression of risk, R-I-S-K. Recognition is success's key. Patiently believing in your arrival. The final smile was for triumph over the countless weapons and seats at the table of grace. Humility over pride, generosity over greed, admiration over hatred, righteousness over laziness, trust over jealousy, sharing over selfishness, equality over injustice. And the goodness that just keeps adding up, the birthright proclaims, it is good. And that is my glue for today. Our resilience will always be traced back to our creation, which actually ended with God saying, it is good. And let me take a miss. Oh, okay. And that's Michelle from a Yellow Ribbon event. Thank you, Michelle. Bless you for your family and you answering the call to serve. The Yellow Ribbon, if y'all don't know, that's the military program I work with, where I speak with service and family members going through the deployment cycle. And so I always say, yes, we thank our military and service members for their service, but we also thank them for answering the call, because there's a high calling on their lives of a military family to serve, because America asks them to turn their emotions on and off at the drop of an order. Gary's father served in the military. He was in the Navy, and so there's a high calling to just Hey, drop your emotions. There will be no Christmas. There will be no Thanksgiving. There will be no New Year's. And that's the calling that our military families answer. So when you say thank you for your service to a military service or family member, please, if you can, remember, add thanks for answering the call, because there's a wonderful high calling. So thank you, Michelle, again, for answering the call to serve through your family. But that is my glue for today, that our resilience can always be traced back to our creation, which actually ended with God saying it is good. You see, God's goodness is a belief and understanding that we will occasionally swim upstream, going against the crowd to deliver what only we can as individual images of his creation. And you've done it more than you give yourself credit for. So heed this message from Gary. Heed this message from Gary that you've heard me state before.
Keep your focus and faith. Trust your track record. Laugh at your lack record.
Okay? Because as I learned from an Air Force chaplain years ago, the moral behind the story of the three little pigs is not what type of house you build.
The moral is that there's another storm coming.
And don't you see that? It doesn't matter what kind of house you build. You build a house because there's a storm coming. And we've been through so many storms that we don't tend to give ourselves credit for. So let us reread the poem and point out a few spots. While we're doing that, you can start putting words for next week's feature letter into the thread and sending them. The feature letter is going to be why. So remember, if you're on YouTube, put the word in the comments, not in the thread. So you're going to put words that begin with the letter Y while we go back over the poem. But let me look at some messages. Joey, thanks. Good message. Appreciate it. And good job, Gary. But here's, like I said, I'm going to reread the poem, and Gary's going to show you what I talked about in that connection of scripture from Genesis. And as I'm doing this, I want you to understand that, or I'll say this. Let me not go off the script here. Okay. So here's the rereading of the poem, and I'll stop to make some points. Swimming upstream. What I couldn't tell was whether the smiles that walked toward me and toward and past me cared about where I was going. Then I remembered whose hand my fate was in, and I became one of the smiles. Now, these loosely, next 7 will chronicle the 7 days of creation in Genesis. Gary will read the scripture, and I will read the poem's stanza. Please know that they won't always be an exact match, as I am not trying to blaspheme the Bible, okay? So here we go.
And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
My first smile was for time, as I appreciated the evolution of darkness defining the light. Even my spiritual awakening, blessed from the falls and stabs in the back, the goodness continues to unfold even now as I share my gift.
And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water."
Oh, my second smile still looms in the sky, and its tremendous separation of space, distancing me from the blues and heartache of the past, clarifying them as lessons of self-love. The goodness separating my blues as challenges, washed away through sadness turned songs of praise. My looks to the sky, drenched in the blessings rained down and nurtured.
And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear."
My third smile was for thanks and the harvest of happiness, ordered on my behalf as steps of focus and faith. The goodness underfoot, cementing the path of peace, as my walk upon the petals produced refreshing fruit of forgiveness.
And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years."
My fourth smile welcomed the tenacious quest to add the glimpses of positivity that continue to outshine the negative knocks at the door, aimed at taking the glow from the friendships that became family by understanding The goodness is that though blood is thicker than water, drinking it will not hydrate the heart.
And God said, let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky.
The fifth smile of trust, working together to overcome the emptiness of disappointment and false expectation. Results of the secrets that over time became lies. That goodness because the truth continued to knock at the door.
And God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind.
The sixth smile offered a flashback of tolerance. The goodness recalling an expression of risk, RISK. Recognition is success's key. Patiently believing in your arrival.
Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness.
The final smile was that for triumph over the countless weapons and seats at the table of grace. Humility over pride, generosity over greed, admiration over hatred, righteousness over laziness, trust over jealousy, sharing over selfishness, equality over injustice, and the goodness just keeps adding up as the birthright proclaims, it is good. All right. So let's see what we got in the thread there. Words for next. Hey, what's going on, Lorenzo? Still hanging out in NOLA. Got it. And they would say, get it, Gary. Proud of you. Thank you, Lorenzo. And thank you for answering the call. Lorenzo is also a retired service member as well. But hey, everybody. And thank you, Joey, for the clap. Hey, so now put your words that begin with the letter Y in the thread. Okay? Because to this day, you know, I call my gift poetry. Okay, I call my gifts poetry. Sporty's poetry opens emotions to reach you. And I thank my co-authors for their words and yours for October 28th feature letter, which will be the letter Y. May we all continue to swim upstream, even as we begin to go with the flow. So let's see what words we got for next week, beginning with Y. Yearning. Oh, you know, you think of, Lorenzo? My earth, wind, and fire. Yearn and learn is what you do. Yearn when you really want something. It's almost like an addiction, but it's not. It's an addiction tends to be a negative word sometimes, whereas yearning is more like a happiness. I'm looking forward to something. So yearning, I love it. And then Michelle said, yes, Gary is doing phenomenal. Well, that's their military kids, Michelle. You know how they are. All right, Michelle, don't forget to put a word beginning with Y in there, okay? And then Joey says youth. See, you sparked them. You inspired them. Say, oh, let me put us a little off here. There we go. Oh, but that blocks you out when I do that. Okay, so I'm going to do this instead. Okay. So yeah, the word youth, and we do, even as we read scripture, the reason I chose to do it that way, because what is that? What they say in church? And a child shall lead the way. And hearing a child read scripture, and as well as he does it at 10, you know, all of us have that in us, and we have children that can do that. And EWF, that's right, Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know it, Lorenzo. All right. So if you're watching the video, you can still put a word with the letter Y in the thread so that I can work that into next week's message. And again, I thank you three for coming on, because you know what, like I said, Thanksgiving got to me. But I also realized that it probably not got to a lot of people. Say, wait a minute, I don't want to wake up early on Friday, you know, after a good eating. So you can say thank you to these. Let's see who you want to say thank you to. All of them gave you a shout out.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, everybody gave him a shout out. We thank you. But before we sign off, Michelle, if you're still there, special. Oh, and Michelle's coming in from LinkedIn, by the way. I didn't even notice that because they got the blue logos. So y'all wonder, who am I talking to? Michelle's coming in from LinkedIn. Joey and Lorenzo were on Facebook. That's also why I like to click on the words and give y'all a shout out so people can see across mediums where people are checking in from. and where I can get the words from, okay? And there you go, Michelle, yield. And you know, I love yield because it's a two type, it's one of those words, it's a double word. We tend to hear yield as meaning slow down when we see it on a traffic sign, you know, and yield, slow down. But yield also means to give, because when we think about gifts and harvest, it's what will the land yield, what will it give. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, what will you yield, what will you give, but also what will you need to slow down and think about before moving forward. See, there's always a double in there. Okay, so here we go. This is what's going to happen now for those of you on live. And so Michelle, this is your first time, get ready. Okay, this is going to happen. I'm going to choose a co-author by putting a word I've already chosen a number from 1 to 10. So don't hit enter yet, but put your number in your thread. And when I say go, I'm gonna give you a countdown to 3, and then I say go, you hit enter, and then all your numbers will come, your 3 numbers will come to me, and whoever's the closest to the number that I've already picked, don't put your number now, whoever's the closest to the number I've already picked will be my topic person for next week. But Lorenzo says yawn, not as in sleep, but as in breath. Bring it. Sometimes you have to yawn and bring in a fresh breath, and it connects to the yield. Thank you, Lorenzo. There we go. Oh, look at Joey. He says, I want Gary's autograph. Thank you, man. Yeah, Joey's one of my adopted family. They adopted me into their family. I love them, the Waddells. Okay, shout out to my Waddell family. But anyway, so on the count of 3, hit enter, and we're going to see whose number is closest to the number that I've already chosen. And you're going to be my person to give me the topic for next week. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2. Oh, you did a countdown.
1, 2, 3.
Boom, hit enter. Let's see what numbers we got. And some of you may remember that's from my last series, which was the number series, where I make the numbers work for you. Okay. Oh my God, Lorenzo, I thought I was clear. A number from 1 to 10, but you can bet that you're not gonna be too close with 27. Well, but I think that's something like your anniversary or something. I know that's why you got the 27. So no, this one, Lorenzo, this one is not the numbers work for us thing. But since we haven't revealed the number yet, and we're still waiting for Michelle's, you get a second chance here, Lorenzo. But a number from 1 to 10. Okay, public school, not listening to the instructions. So then Lorenzo's got 27. Joey's got the 3. And Michelle, you're going to come in with a number. Those of you watching the video, you don't need to worry about putting a number because you're going to end up seeing it anyway. You could just do it for fun, but you got to be live. And so Lorenzo's going to go with 4. Okay, you got to be live so you can be one of my my editors, my topic person for next week. Okay, good. Now I got this where we can get back to showing swimming upstream. Where is it? There we go. All right. Okay, one more chance. Let's give another 10 seconds to see if Michelle's still on there to get us a number. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then Joey says, sing to Load the Christmas songs. Do you hear what I hear? I ain't the singer. Can you sing? No. Okay. All right. So anyway, Michelle might have left us, or she's just choosing to listen, or she don't want to be the author. But here we go. Next week's number is okay. Resilience 3. And Joey hit it right on the button. Joey's second week in a row going to be able to give me the topic for next week, because I had already pre-selected the number 3. Joey on the head. Lorenzo, I knew that. That's why I gave you another chance. Because I said, well, Joey hit it on the head. Let me see if Lorenzo hits it on the head too. But you would have been close. So, well, Joey, you know the deal, and you did a great job with that last week. So, there you go, Michelle, coming in with a 4. Okay. Because y'all know that what I also do, just like you saw, I use the numbers that inspired me to go to the Genesis, and I thought of the 7 days. So I might still end up using your numbers, but I'll definitely be using your words. and this, by the way, we got 2 number 4s. That would be okay. A lot of times people, especially our grown-ups, say, oh, they took my number. No, isn't it great to see what we have in common? And so, Lorenzo, I don't know if you were on, but Michelle is someone either one of our veterans or a veteran family member at one of the yellow ribbons I did. So I know she heard me thank you for your service, but please, Lorenzo, remember to thank Michelle for hers too, even though you're on Facebook and she's on LinkedIn. Okay. So, but that's the joy of what we do together anyway. Okay. So, look, I want to thank you all for joining me again on Glue Wednesday on Friday. All right. And remember, GLUE stands for what?
God's love undoes everything.
Ooh, undoes. Okay, that's that. My bad. I didn't show him the screen loud enough. Okay. See, we don't need to hump. What we need to do is find ways to keep it together. And that's just what God's love does every Glue Wednesday and truly every day of the year, which is why today on the man-made calendar, yesterday we call it Thanksgiving, but we're giving thanks every single day of the year and every moment that we can. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Your wife is a vet. Yes, thank you. Yeah, and there you go. There you see it, Michelle. Thank you for your service, and also thank Lorenzo. Yeah, because I remember on Veterans Day, I was able to send that message to both him and his wife. Thank you both. And then Joey, thank you, and says thanks, Sporty and Little G. Okay. Oh man. And it's so funny because I told my niece and the nephew, his mother and father, you need quiet. I said, yo, I'm having fun on this broadcast, and this is my people coming in, so I'm not worried about that. Just glad you done call it Little G. That's what we have to do, yo. Let's just relax and enjoy life. Okay. I'm looking for pray for me. I'll be driving back next week. Driving back to Charlotte. It's only a 7 to 8 hour drive, so it's really not that bad. Okay, what'd you say, Lorenzo? Gary, you rock strongly, and I am now a fan. Oh man, thank you. Thanks for that, Lorenzo. Thank both for all of you for joining me today. Look forward to seeing you next week. But either way, have a safe and savvy weekend. And remember, Glue Wednesday, glue every day. God's love undoes everything. Gary, closing words.
Well, here's what I got to say. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for being positive. And remember, stay positive. Do not be negative.
All right. That's my great nephew, y'all. All right, I'm gonna let it do a 10 seconds because there's a delay from when you put a comment in to where it comes onto my screen. So those were our closing words. I'll give it a 10-second count. And yeah, Joey, my favorite child. There you go. And I'll give it a 10-second drop to see if anybody gets the last word in there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it'll be Christmas before you know it. Over and out, y'all. Peace. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, Michelle, because you may not know, but I'll be typing that poem up and then putting it in the thread so that anybody wants a copy, you'll be able to download. I'll put in there, I think, a PDF on Facebook, but I think on LinkedIn I got to put it as a JPEG. But either way, I'll put that in the thread and you'll be able to download it later. Okay? Over and out. Peace.